So I'm going to talk about documentation, specifically going to discuss about Microsoft Word. You must be really thinking, what am I going to tell in Microsoft Word? There are a few interesting features. A few of us may know it, but anyways, let us see what we are going to look into with Microsoft Word. So why exactly am I talking about this? Microsoft Word is one of the most popular document editing softwares available. It has sustained the market for nearly 36 years. So, version after version, they have tried to really bring in something new with respect to Microsoft Word, and that is why we are still using Word for the past 36 years. And it also has a lot of many features for easy content creation. All of us have used Word, so we know it. So right from changing the font to the color to adding a bullet to have a numbered list to have a table to have a picture to have a chart, there are so many things that we can do with Word. And it is highly portable and easily accessible. Word is available in most operating systems with Windows, with Mac OS, and even now we have Word for mobile phones. You have the Android version, you have the iOS version, so it becomes easy to portable. So whatever you do in your desktop can be easily accessible with your phone. If you just, so you can use it anywhere. So those are some of the important features of discussing about Word even today. And for teachers, as such, for educators, professionally, we do a lot of work with Word. Like we prepare our lesson plans, we have our question papers done in Word, we write reports on events in Word, we have professional letters typed in Word. We also share our lesson resources using Word. So professionally, Word has been there with us throughout. And in the research front, we use it for typing a research paper, a thesis, any project proposal, or any project documentation. So for all that, we still rely on Word. There are many others, but still, most of us rely on Word. For students, when we are talking about the Gen Z students, we know that we are just going to move on from a handwritten assignment to a electronic assignment. In that case, students can use Word for assignments, for notes taking, and to bring out their project documentation. They use Word, and also it can be used as a self-learning tool. So once they really start typing or working in Word, it is going to show you a lot of suggestions, like it will show a red squiggle line if there is an error. So in that case, a student will be able to rectify, or they know that there is something wrong over there. So it helps them correct it, and also it gives suggestions on the sentence formation. So grammatically, it is able to provide some kind of an help to whoever is using it. So it can also be thought of as a self-learning tool. So there are few interesting features. Yeah, I said few of them would be known to people, but anyways, I'm just going to show you a demo of how these three things can be done. So how to generate a table of content, and then inserting citation and references, and also mail merge. So let me start with the first one, table of contents generation. All of us know what a table of contents is. So there is some content. So we have a numbered heading which we will put through in the content, and depending on that, we will want to have a table of contents at the beginning of the document so that it has the heading number with the title and also the page number. So this is a general structure of a table of content. But usually how we do is we'll have our headings typed out, we will have the numbers manually done by us, and we will also try to sit and type the table of contents by our own. For a very small document, it is quite easy, but imagine doing the same for a very large documents, like for example, if it's a 100-page or a 200-page document, to manually sit and do is quite impossible. So for that, Microsoft has this very beautiful feature. So I'm just going to show you a live demo of it as to how to use it. I'm moving to Microsoft Word. I'm just going to share that window for you now. Hope you're able to see Microsoft Word. Okay, fine. So my Microsoft Word window is open. I want some random text to appear on my screen so that I can start working on. So for that, in Word, you have something called equal to rand of uh, 10, 10. So 10, the first argument 10 refers to the number of paragraphs that I want. and the second 10 refers to the number of lines I want in each paragraph. So if I just want some random text to appear, since it's a demo, I'm not working on any professional text. I just want some random text. So I just press enter. There is some random text that appears on my screen. Okay, so if I just put equal to random of some number, okay, numbers, the first number refers to the number of paragraphs, the second number refers to the number of lines per paragraph. Okay, so I have some random text. I'll do some basic formatting. So I'm going to the home tab over here. So I'm trying to increase the font size. So you have options, all these things you all know. So I'm just trying to change the font name. I'm justifying the content. So I have some decent looking content that is here. I just want to have content for more than one page so that while working on the table of contents, you know how it works. Okay. So now the first thing that I'll do is I have to give headings for the content because I have some text only. I haven't segregated this text into sections. So to do that, we have to give headings first. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to give some headings. It's a sample, so don't mind the headings that I'm giving. It's just for you to know. So I'm just giving some heading. So for example, a level 1 heading, I'll give it in caps so that we can differentiate. So I'm just giving introduction. Maybe I'll give a level 2 heading also. I'm giving this. It is a level 2 heading. That means inside introduction, I'm going to have another heading called motivation. Like for example, if introduction is introduction, 1.1 will be motivation. Just like that. Okay. So I'm just going to give random headings. Please don't mind. Then I'm giving related reports. And maybe I can give proposed work. Then I'll give experimental results. And then finally a conclusion. Okay, so I've just given some headings over here. Maybe under proposed work, maybe I'll have another subheading like implementation. Okay, so this comes under proposed work. So I'm just setting headings. I haven't done anything at all. Okay, I just made that full document split up into different sections by giving a heading and subheading accordingly. Okay, so the next thing that we will do is we have to make Word understand that this is a heading and this is a text. By default, when I give Control A, when I'm selecting the whole document, you can see there is a styles ribbon which you can find out here. Okay, so in the top menu, you can find something called styles, like clipboard, font, paragraph, and then you have styles. So by default, it is a normal style. So there is no differentiation between the heading and the normal text that is coming up. So I want to tell Word that please differentiate between the heading and this normal text. So there you can find something called heading styles also. There are many different styles that are there. So what I am going to do is I'm doing all these things because I want to build a table of contents, and table of contents work only based on these heading styles. So that is why it is important that we set the heading styles appropriately. Okay. So what type of a heading is this? It is a first level heading. The introduction that I've just chosen here is a first level heading. So you can find out there is a template already put up, a style that is already there by name heading 1. Okay, so it is of a different font, of a different font color. So I can modify that. I can give a right click and you can find something called modify. So I'm clicking on that. I'm clicking on modify. So here you have a basic formatting that is there. Okay, so here I can change the font name. This was the font that I gave for the remaining text, so I'm choosing it. I can have the size of the font or maybe even more bigger. And I'll change the color to black so that it is visible. And yeah, so I can do some formatting like this and give OK. So I choose that particular heading and I press heading 1 so that that particular style is applied over there. So you can see I have the navigation pane open in the left hand side. So you can find out once I've set this particular introduction text to heading 1, you can find out under the headings, introduction is coming up over there. So now I told you that motivation is a level 2 heading. So in that case, I'm going to go for this particular style which says heading 2. The heading 2 refers to the second level of heading. So I'm going to do the same thing. I don't want this font. I don't want this color. So I'm going to right click, give modify and change the font. So I'm again changing it to the same font. I'm increasing the size a little bit. I'm changing the color again and I'm giving OK. So once I select that, I press on heading 2 and only then it gets changed. If I simply give modify, only the style will be modified. If I want that style to be applied, I have to again press it. Now again, go back to that navigation pane to the right hand side. You can beautifully see how introduction and motivation are arranged, because introduction is level 1 heading and inside introduction I have another heading motivation, so it is coming inside that. So similarly, I'm going to set the headings for my remaining document. So related work is a heading level 1 heading, so I'm clicking heading 1. Proposed work is a level 1 heading, I'm clicking heading 1. Implementation is a level 2 heading, so I'm clicking heading 2. Experimental results is a level 1 heading. I'm pressing heading 1. And conclusion again is a level 1 heading. So you can see that as and when I was applying, the full headings are appearing in that navigation pane accordingly. Like for implementation is a level 2, it is beautifully put up under proposed work. Okay, so now Word knows that, okay, there are two types of headings, level 1 heading and level 2 heading. But how am I going to number them? Usually what we will do, we will manually type 1 dot introduction. This is how we will keep typing. But as I said before, imagine if it is going to be a very big document, it is not going to work out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make Word do it for me. So there is an option. So here, this is the home tab. You know, there is an option to add bullets and numbering. Is it? This is for bullets. This is for numbering. And the third one is what we call as the multi-level list, which is what we are going to use it here. So you can find out in the multi-level list, you can click and you can find out there are many options. Here specifically you have an option saying 1 heading 1, 1.1 heading 2 and so on. You can see that hierarchy of headings that is being shown there. So this is what we will use. So it is clearly understandable that once I click that, depending on the heading, it will automatically number. Can you see? 1 introduction, 1.1 motivation. It is actually very much clear in the navigation pane. You can see how well it is beautifully arranged. So I didn't do anything at all. So you can see that it has come out really well. Okay. So we are done with the headings also. So until this part, so adding the multi-level headings and also numbering them using the multi-level list, these two are very important before I go for the table of contents. Okay, so I cannot just simply work on it because Word is it is using a tool to do that. So that is why we have to do this first. So table of contents usually appear at the beginning of the document. So I'm keeping my cursor over there and I'm going to the references tab. So you can find the references tab there. The first option you have is table of contents. So I'm clicking on it. It is showing me few built-in options and also a manual table where I can manually type the chapter title and the subheadings. But I'm not going for that. I'm just choosing any one of them. I'm choosing table of contents. I click and that's it. You get it on your screen. So it is neatly arranged. You really don't want to work on any formatting. Page numbers are all put up there. You have a heading called table of contents. You can do whatever you want just by following these few steps. Okay. So I'll also show you what if I add a new content or what if I had a new heading. So for example, there are two paragraphs here. So I'm trying to add one more heading. So maybe I'll add something called objective. Okay, so objective is going to be a level 2 heading. So I'm choosing that and I'm going to apply the style level 2. Can you see that? Automatically after 1.2, it comes up as 1.1, it comes as 1.2. I didn't really do anything at all. I just applied the style. So I'm choosing heading 2. but unless I update the table of contents, that particular updation will not appear in my table of contents. Okay, so what I do is, if I want this particular objective to appear in my table of content, I click on it. You can find update table. So here it is showing if you want to update only the page numbers or if you want to update the entire table. So this first option I can choose if I'm not changing any heading, but only I've added more and more content to the existing heading. So in that case, it is enough if I give update page number only. But now I've added a new subheading. So for that, I have to give update entire table. Okay, so if I give OK, you can find out that objective is also here. So you can find out even the table of contents isn't very good looking because we didn't change the font, we didn't change the size. I recommend that once you're done with your full content, once after you know that you're not going to do any additions to your work, in that case, you can just select it. You can select the table of content fully. You can change the font. You can increase the size, you can change the color, you can do whatever you want, just like how you treat a normal text inside your work. That's it. So, because once after I give an update, it will go back to the default style. So I don't want that to happen. So once you're done with everything, in that case, finally you can you can do the formatting with respect to table of contents. Okay. So similarly, you can add more and more levels of headings. I mean, I don't know how many of you noticed, once after I gave heading 1 and heading 2 are always there in the style. But once after I gave heading 2, automatically this heading 3 style appeared in my styles. Similarly, if I'm adding heading 3 inside my document, automatically heading 4 will come. So even that we needn't do anything. Word itself will do it for you. So it's quite easy, right? So this is how table of contents work. I'm going back to my the presentation to move on with the next topic. Any queries over here, or maybe we'll have it at the end? Any questions for this? I'm stopping my screen sharing so that any questions? Shall I continue?
Yes, Fastrina, maybe we can have the queries at the last. No, once you complete the word.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay. I'll continue. So I thought I'll just give a recap. So as I said, you will have to have a multi-level heading set up from the styles. Then you'll have to go to the bullets and numbering where you find the multi-list numbering. So make sure you choose this option so that it will number the full document accordingly. Then you go to references tab, table of contents. Then you choose any automatic style, and yeah, you can do that. For any other style you want, you can manually do it, or we can also change it. We can have a custom table of contents. You have an option for that. But since I just wanted to show how it works, I use the built-in ones. So you can have your own styles that you can do with it. There's a lot more that I'm leaving for you to explore. And then, as I said, if you want to update, you can do this. You can update the page number or the entire table. Okay. The next one is inserting citations and references. This will be more helpful for both us and the students when they are referring to some outside sources inside the document that they are preparing. So basically, I wanted to tell what a citation and reference is. Citation is something that we refer inside the content of a document. So as in when we have some text, inside that we would want to have something to be cited. Okay, so citation appears inside the document, whereas references come at the end of the document. So we will have a list of references put up at the end, and references will have more information than citation. So citation will have an author name or the author name and the year, or sometimes only the number. Only the citation number appears. So there's no much information in the citation because it is coming inside the document, wherein the references will have a long list of details. So mostly the details, this is how a citation and reference will look like. So it is quoted inside the text. So here in this example, you can find out there is the author name with the year, whereas in the references, you can find the full details, the author, the name of the journal, from the link, from where it was taken and all that. So references is going to have more information like the article authors, the title of the article, the name of the journal, the date, the volume, the issue, the page range, So it is going to have a lot of information. Okay, so we really know how hard it is to really collect these references and put them together when we work on a document. So even for that, Word has something really easy to do. So this is a demo that I'll be showing. So I'm going to insert a couple of references inside the very same document that I just created. I'm going to show how I can add that and how to generate the references at the end of the document. So let me go back to Word. So I'm going back to the same document that I'm here. So somewhere, so wherever I place the cursor, I can insert a citation, but before that I have to add few things. So maybe at the end of this particular point, you can see the cursor over here. I just want to add a citation. So for that, I'm placing the cursor here. I'm going to the references tab once again. There you can find something called insert citation. So I'm clicking on that. You can see that it shows add new source. The source is nothing but the one that will appear in the references with the details, with the author name, the journal name, the page numbers, the date, the volume, the issue, all those details I will be entering as a source. So once I gave that, you can find out, you get a dialog box like this. So it shows create source, and there are a lot of types of source that are available because the references might be from a book, might be from a book section, it can be from a journal, it can be from a conference proceeding. So depending on what type of a journal, I can choose any one of this. Okay. So for now, I'm just putting a book. I'm giving some random author. Please don't mind me. I'm just putting a random author name. Yeah. So here you can find out as I type below the same dialog box, you can find out it is showing an example. Kramer, comma, space, James. Okay, so that first Kramer, that first name refers to the last name of the author, and the one that comes after the comma and the space refers to the first name. So that the author's actual name is James D. Kramer. But when we enter here, we have to enter it in the format as last name, comma, space, followed by his first name. So I'm just randomly giving a name. Okay, and if it is a single author, I can just leave it as it is, giving the last name and the first name. If there's going to be more than one author, as given in the example there, I have to separate them using a semicolon. So I'm just going to give another author name. So I'm putting a semicolon, leaving a space once again, and I'm just putting another name. Okay, so I'm just giving names. So once after I've entered the last author's name, I really don't want to put a semicolon. So the semicolon is only to differentiate between the two authors. At the end, I don't want to put a semicolon. And some books are coming directly from the corporates. Like they don't have an author as such. They would be coming from the name of the organization itself. In that case, I can choose this option and give the name in this particular space that I'm showing. Okay, so here I'm not working on the corporate author. So I just give a name, some random name that I'm giving. And then the year and city where it was published, and okay, so I'm just giving some publisher's name. Okay, so I'm just giving okay. You can find out that the citation is appearing over here. Yes, so by default, it follows the APA style of citation. Here, if I click on, there is a whole list of other citation styles that are available, like the APA, the MLA, which doesn't have the year included, the IEEE, which only has the number that is coming up. Okay, so all these you can change. Okay, so for now, I'm just leaving it over here. And then maybe I'll try to include one more citation and show you so that I'll be able to prepare the references. So somewhere else, I'm just keeping the cursor. You can find out that I've kept it in the middle of the content. So I'm just giving another source. So once I added the source, you can find out it is coming over here because I've used that particular citation in the document. So if there is any other place wherein I have to use the very same citation, I can just click on it, it will come up. That's it. So you can find out the citation is coming up over here. Okay, so I needn't really go again, give add source and do that. Once the source is added, Microsoft Word has, it actually maintains that particular citation. So you needn't bother about that. Okay, I'll add a new citation and show maybe a journal. So I'm again giving add new source, I'm choosing a journal article. Again, I'm giving some random name, some name that drops into my mind. Okay. Right. So I just give a name, title. Okay, sure. It's a title. And also remember, it is the same way in which we enter here. It will be the same that will appear in the references also. So for example, if I'm typing everything as small like this, it is the same that will appear over there. So we have to do that basic level of formatting when we enter the source itself, otherwise it will be a double work for us. So as you want it to appear in the references, you better put it the same way. Okay, I'm just putting the journal name here, and pages I have to give it in the range. Okay, so I'm just giving the range and I'm giving OK. So you can find out the particular citation is appearing over here. Okay, so now I have two citations entered. So we'll see how to have our references put up. So references are always at the end of your document. Okay, so I'm moving my cursor to the end. I'm not doing anything else. You can find something called bibliography over here, right? Okay, under the same references, here with the other things, you can find out bibliography over here. I'm clicking on it and it is showing me few built-in options. So with title bibliography, with title references, with title works cited, I'm choosing any one of them. So I'll better go with the references. So once I click on that, you can find out the two references that I just gave automatically came up over here. So here also you can find if I change the style of the citation, things will get changed. I'm changing it to IEEE. IEEE has a numbered citation. So here it is changed to 1, here it is changed to 2, and so on, right? There's one more place wherein I entered in between. Here. Okay, so here is the first one. Here is the first one. Remember, I gave two things of the same one, so it is automatically numbered. So 1 and 1, and then you have the 2, and here also it is automatically numbered. Otherwise, we would be manually typing. I know most of us would have done that. We would be typing the square bracket 1, square bracket, and all that. Okay, so all those things we needn't do. It is the same with here also. Once after we add all the citations and references, then in that case we can finally update, we can format. It is the same just like how we did for the table of content. And also one more thing, did you see like the references automatically numbered? The few, I mean, we usually don't number. If you don't want, you can remove it, otherwise let it be. So for again, to change the font and all that, it is as simple as what we did previously. Just change the font, increase the size. You can do all these, but reserve it for the end. Once after you have done with all the references, in that case, you can just put it. Okay, so there's one more thing I wanted to tell you. There is something called manage sources. Okay, clicking on that, it will show you what are the things that are there which you have added. There are many citations that are, I mean, many references that are showing in the master list because I've already tried adding few. Okay, so you can find the current list which shows with the tick mark. The tick mark shows that you have currently cited that particular source. Okay, so that is the tick mark. So if I want to add something to the current list from the master list, I can click on it and give copy. So this will become part of this particular document that I'm working. But you can see that there is a no tick mark because I haven't cited it yet in my document. So if I want to, I can do it. So I'm closing it. I'll just show you how it is done. So I'm putting the cursor elsewhere. Since I put it inside this current list, you can find out that it is appearing automatically over here. So I can just click on this and I can do. I'll make it to the APA format so that for you it is easy. Okay, so I've changed it to the APA format so you can find out it is coming. So you can have a master list ready. Irrespective of the document, you can have a master list typed and kept ready. So accordingly to whichever document you want to, you can just copy those references from the master list to the current list and you can just keep adding. So it is not that for each and every document there has to be a very unique list. It is not like that. Word will maintain once, because I worked in a different document before. But even then, it was able to take the sources from those documents and show it to me here as a master list. So you can work on it, you can keep things ready and just put it very easily over here and you can build the references. Okay, so you can find the references also updated with the new reference that I just added, which I just cited. Okay, so this is how you can work on references.